Handle Your Business, a weekly podcast discussing a little of this and a little of that. Handle Your Business appropriately blends serious topics with fun topics, all in an effort to help you have a good or better life. So join me, your host, Lady Lashley, and some amazing guests every Sunday at 5 p.m. to explore everything from financial management to dealing with relationship challenges. Put it in your calendar every Sunday from 5 p.m. Tune in to Handle Your Business to get you ready for the week ahead. For more details, follow at Lady Lashley TT on Instagram and Facebook. Handle Your Business. Welcome to another episode of Handle Your Business with yours truly, Lady Lashley. Today I have with me Denise Wright. She is a new vehicle sales representative, a veteran in the business, many years. She'll tell us how many years she has in this business. And we're going to talk about going electric. Yeah, if you're considering getting a vehicle, particularly a new vehicle or even used, going electric. The big thing now is saving energy, not polluting the earth, all of that. And Denise has the responsibility in Tobago with convincing people to buy electric vehicles as well as other things. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Glendora. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. It's an interesting time in Tobago and these small islands. And I like to include these small islands because we're all the same. We are accustomed to fuel. We are accustomed to going by the gas station and filling up. Unfortunately, that's not good for the environment. And so now we have an option.
Yes, and especially as we are an ecotourism country. I remember years ago, I had some Swedish guests, and I'm sitting in one of the Swedish vehicles right now. You may not be able to see it, but they were into eco from a very long time ago. And I think being a eco-centered island, you know, in terms of green and serene and so forth, we may have to really consider that in terms of our cars.
No, I absolutely love that you said that because a lot of people don't make the link that Tobago as a green island, you know, we have to be mindful of that. And now that we're pushing that even more heavily, we also have to be mindful that many of the visitors and those other places, they are very conscious with the eco-friendliness of the island. I mean, we saw it initially like with getting straws and containers, moving away from styrofoam and so on, and now we're in a thrust to going electric at least. So off the bat, Denise, what's the difference? What's a major difference if somebody's considering that, apart from wanting to save the earth and do the right thing? How does going electric benefit me as a regular person in the Caribbean?
Well, it's a serious change, right? I mean, we're accustomed to the gas engines, okay? And, you know, being a oil-centered country and all these things, we're into that type of gas and so forth. However, in Trinidad and Tobago, I'll note a fact here, one of the cheapest electricity bills that we have is in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago. So that's a factor that we could get into just a little later. But in terms of the cost, right, compared to a gas engine to an electronic engine, I must say you tend to pay the cost up front because people like, wow, the cost. But when you think of the long term, you really save a lot in terms of the long term, right? So, for example, I'll just draw a quick example. I had a customer that, and I'll be drawing on some of those stories, right? And she came away from a gas engine, right? And she's a teacher who traverses back and forth from Lowlands to Mason Hall every day, because even though with the COVID, she still had to traverse. right? And she said, Denise, I am saving. Whereas with a gas engine, she would have paid about roughly 200 a week. I'm not going to call the competitor's vehicle, right? And she said, now with the hybrid, and this is just the hybrid, not the full electric. Because with the hybrid, it with Hyundai, it was part gas and part battery charging. So as the wheels turn over, it charges the vehicle. So she was saving a lot. Instead of going to the gas station every week, she would go like just once every 2 weeks.
Wow, okay.
So that's to give you an idea, right? And then I had another customer. He was working the vehicle taxi. And the gentleman was working from Crown Point to Scarborough, and he said he would visit the gas station possibly once a week, right? So that's to tell you with just the hybrid alone, part gas, part battery charging, she's saving a lot, and she said she's very happy with her purchase. So there's the difference between the hybrid, the Hyundai Kona, right? It gives you the full electric. It comes with a battery, just a flat pancake battery. And to distinguish between the hybrid and the full electric, you would really see it from the outside. So that's like with the grill. The grill in front, right, has a nice, smooth, bold finish. Whereas with the gas and the hybrid, the front would have the grill to allow the engine to cool. So that's how you distinguish the difference between the full electric and let's say the gas or the hybrid.
Okay.
So in terms of the look, the exterior, that is how you would distinguish. So you ask the question, I know, in terms of comparing it, let's say to a gas engine and the electric. Now, I'm comparing the Kona, let's say 2019, 2020 to our current 2021, 2022 model. So Hyundai always had an unusual way of how they would do the transmission. So on the previous model, they would have done what we call a dual clutch transmission. So with the dual clutch, they formed it. It's like an automatic on top of a manual transmission. So right there, Hyundai with the gas engines, I'm comparing it to Hyundai, you were saving in terms of the brakes and so forth. Let's say going downhill and so forth, you were saving on the brakes, the dual clutch. So with Hyundai now, they built that what we call the dual clutch engine. So the previous engine, which was a gas, was a 2.0 4-cylinder. And in terms of horsepower and so forth, it was like 147. But people who talk about torque and so forth, that's the torque. And then it was a 7-speed dual clutch. So it was either front wheel, so just the front wheel drive. That's how they term it in the European, how they would term it. But we would say it's a 2-wheel drive, right, or it's a 4-wheel drive. So the gas was a 2-wheel or an all-wheel drive. And it was a 1.6-liter turbo with 175 torque, right? So the same with the 2-wheel or the all-wheel. What we have here now in Trinidad and Tobago is it's a new 1.6, right? It's a 1.6. And the drivetrain, what we call, well, it's not like with the transmission, the drivetrain, it has the full electric motor, and the it has 201 horsepower, so that's an improvement in terms of the horsepower. So the takeoff in traffic compared to the gas engine. With the gas engine, there's a bit of a lag, I must admit, in the former vehicles. So in traffic, when you do the research, it would take a little while to take off. But with the corner, it's a smooth acceleration. It just takes off like that. So
right.
I always advise customers, and even when customers come, we have to make sure and do the demo, and if necessary, do a further 2 test drives to make sure that they have any concerns in the acceleration, because as you tip with the corner, it takes off. I term it like smooth chocolate, you know, it just takes off. So the torque, right? So that's some of the benefits with the corner, with the full electric.
Okay. No, that sounds a little bit exciting. For me, I know the quick takeoff scares me a bit. Because when you're not so accustomed to it, and then you go into a vehicle with it. I was driving a van, single cab van, and it had that fast acceleration, and I was just taken aback. You know,
it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And Hyundai is especially known for their turbo engine, so it's very responsive. So when I did the research, you know, in the US, they drove it from like New York, I think down to Los Angeles. So they drove it. So they drove it for a week, and they compared the gas compared to the electric, and the electric seemed to have worked for them as a family vehicle.
Okay, well, you're saying family vehicle, but I wonder if those guys that do the racing, if they won't get excited by the songs.
Not unless they change it, because with the warranty, we don't encourage racing with it. We don't encourage racing, but it is a very responsive engine, the 1.6 turbo, and especially with the electric, I realize it's super quiet, so it's a very responsive vehicle, right? And just to say, it also in the EV, what we call the we say Hyundai EV, so it's the electronic vehicle. So it also has the longest driving distance in its class.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
So with that one, you have 400 up to 415 kilometers, right? Compared to the gas engine, which is like 396 on regular fuel. So the question is usually asked, what about if it's a one charge? And we will talk about that. With the charge now, it has different type of charge. Of course, in Tobago, we have to get more of those charging stations. Yeah. So there's one at Couva, and there's one at Trincity that I know about. Right. So they may have others, right? But with the charging, people ask about how it's charged. So to the front of the vehicle, there's a nice port in front where you could charge the vehicle. Yeah. You had any questions? Or?
But when I was actually coming to the charge, because that's one of the main things. Charging stations in Tobago, nada. So if you're charging at home, what do you need to get to charge at home? What does it cost for that look like? Where you plug in this thing into?
Yeah. So that's a good question, in that they have different type of charges, and on the brochure, right? The quick guide, it talks about it says that recharging can be done through the night at home or during the day while you're at work, right? Because it means you could probably plug it in at work, right? So with a home charging station, you can charge the 64 kilowatt battery variant from 10 to 100%, right? Capacity in 9 hours, 15 minutes. So it's more like if you're at home, you could charge it overnight. And then it has the variant, it says to the same level in 6 hours. So I'll go over that again. It says that you can recharge the 64 kilowatt battery variant from 10% to 100% capacity in 9 hours, 15 minutes, and the 39.2 kilowatt battery variant to the same level in 6 hours. So right there, we mentioned 6 hours, 9 hours. That seemed a long time, right? But it's overnight, right? And it says, though, if you need a quick recharge, so let's say you're at the gas station, right? If you're at the gas station, it will take under 40, just 45 minutes. So you could grab a quick snack. You could grab a quick snack in that time. So how the charging works is that you have rapid charging in just under the 45 minutes. So they have, actually, it comes with like several types of chargers. You have the trickle charger at your house, right? And then you have, so that's one with a 110 voltage. Then you have level two type charging, right? So you have the alternative current, and that is where you could go to the gas station, right? And at the gas station, there's actually no charge. So when you go, because I inquired, well, what's the cost? Because normally we go to the gas station, there's a cost, right? But at the gas station with the charging port, there's no charge.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So there's no charge. So when you compare your utility bill at home, right? It says when you look on the back of the bill, it says that your residential bill, right? So up to 400, they call it kilowatt. Yeah, up to 400 kilowatts, you pay 23 cents an hour. So if you figure out 23, that's 23 cents an hour. So imagine how much you're saving in terms of your fuel bill, right? You're not paying 200 at the gas station every week. And according to the size of your tank, you may pay more than that. But this is just 23 cents. And then it says after the 500 kilowatt, you would be paying like 50 cents. So it really, really saves you right there. You see the difference, that 23 cents compared to paying roughly 200 with the normal, and gas price has gone up, right?
Yeah.
So you will be paying more in terms of the cost of the gas compared to the full electric vehicle.
Well, that's interesting because it's $2.07 if you go 9 hours just by the charging time with that 23 cents per hour. And then if it's the higher one, 50 cents, it ends up to $4.50 for 9 hours.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm seeing there in a quick calculation. Now the charging equipment that you talk about, those come with the vehicle or they have to be purchased separately?
Okay, absolutely, it does, right? So it comes with that, right? So, and it's for the 110 voltage. Now, just on this side, now some of the features, right? Some of the features, because people will ask, let's say I wanted to touch a bit on the tires, because these are things that people ask about. So with the it comes with the 110, the portable, that's a portable charger. Yeah, it comes with that. However, in terms of the tires, because people say they type up tires, and these tires, it gives you a really smooth drive that they talk about. But it says with the specs, it talks about a flat tire repair kit. So they said that type of tire, if that tire goes, it's very expensive. However, it says that, let's say if the tire is blown, or if you have a puncture per se, there's a liquid replacer to replace the tire. So it's not a spare tire, but it's a liquid replacer. Yeah. So in terms of the cost, you would have to get the liquid replacer in case if you have another puncture also.
What's the cost of that now?
That's a good one. I will have to find out. Now with the tires, I was advised that, let's say if the tire is blown or completely damaged, then to replace the tire, because remember you're using the liquid, in case there's a puncture. So if the tire is totally blown, then what I was advised is that you at least the two, let's say if it's the front tire, you will have to replace the two front tires. Ideally, if you could replace all 4 tires, that would be best. But in a worst case scenario, it says at least replace the 2 tires. So that was one of the main questions that was asked in terms of the type of tires that are used on the vehicle. Yeah.
Now, when you say liquid replacement, how does that work? I know we're not doing the visuals for this. It's a audio conversation. But what, you have a tube of liquid that you just take it and squeeze out and it becomes a tire?
What it does, I will have to get more information, but what it does, it fills it in. So they call it a liquid tire repair kit. But I will have to
so you squeeze the liquid into the tire and fill it
into the tire puncture so that it fills it up. But I could get some more information on that for you.
Gotcha. And that explains, I suppose, why you will have to replace them.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So the main thing though, the cost of the actual vehicle, like let's do ranges here.
Right.
What is the lowest available cost? Give me the range
right.
that you carry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we only carry one range though.
Okay.
Only one range they're bringing in right now, and that's the fully electric, and that goes at $365, and that's inclusive with the exemptions. When I say exemptions, the government has mandated, with the electric vehicle, so there's no
nothing else to get off.
No, we can still try something, when you're in the market as a salesperson, we still try to be a little flexible, yeah.
Right.
So, but in terms of there's no motor vehicle tax and no VAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this model is the highest model. Right.
Okay.
So it's not that
it's not necessarily one of the low end options right now.
This one is the highest model.
Okay. All right. So
model,
how was the feedback like for those people who have been driving around Tobago with them?
Well, we did some demos and we went up to Hope. I went with a customer who has a hybrid vehicle, right? She bought one of the other hybrids, and she wants to switch. She wants to switch because the performance of the vehicle, and this is a person who had, if you know vehicles, she had a Pathfinder before.
Oh, okay.
Big machine.
Yes.
She had, right? And then she moved from...
That's an escort vehicle, man.
yeah, that's a big vehicle. So she came from that, and then she took the Aqua well, I didn't
That's
want
an
to say
extreme
because
switch.
but
Yeah.
she was happy with the hybrid, right?
Right.
But when she test drove the Kona, she said, yes, Denise, I want this vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
How big is it?
That's a good question. I would say it's a mid-size SUV. It's not as big, I have to say, as I had expected, coming
Right.
from the gas models.
Mhm.
But surprisingly, when you get in, it's a really good size, good leg room, because her son is about 6 feet something,
Mhm.
and he sat in it comfortably, right?
Okay,
Because
okay.
he drove it to come back on the demo. So on the outside, when you look at it, it's like a mini SUV. However,
Mhm.
when you get in, it's quite comfortable. The headroom is good. The leg room, both for front and passengers.
Mhm.
It's I found this comfortable, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, okay. So definitely interesting. And look at that, the time
Yeah.
fly already, the time fly
Yes.
already.
Yes.
But
Yes.
because we at that point now to wrap up. You
Right.
said
Hmm.
you pay upfront, you pay the cost. It's like
Yeah.
you
You
do the
pay.
investment upfront,
Yes,
but
that's right.
the long-term returns
Hmm.
seem very, very good.
Yeah.
Especially I suppose if you look at the cost of fuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully within the coming years they'll find a way to make these vehicles a little more
Yeah.
affordable.
I
Yeah.
pray, because we need it in Tobago, and coming away from fossil fuel and all these things, we need
Yeah.
to get that. But I'll just give you one quick fun fact before
Okay.
we go, right? It's a subcompact SUV, because you asked about the subcompact,
Mhm.
and it says that the low rolling resistant tires performs better in braking and handling tests. So it's a regeneration type of vehicle. As you mash the brakes, it saves you in terms of well, we talk about eco and so forth. So even in mashing the brakes, it saves you, right? So those are two of the fun facts. And you could go around Tobago. Let's say Tobago is how much? 112 miles. We had measured it.
Oh, I can't
The
even remember.
when you go around, yeah, that was
Mm.
so you could at least go around, possibly Tobago, just twice on one charge, right? So those are your fun facts.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. I go around Tobago twice.
yeah, at least
I'm
twice, at
looking for
least
it,
twice.
because I can't remember if it's
Yeah,
116. It's
yeah, it was, I think, was
116.
116. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
116 something.
So yeah, so in terms of the miles, on the gas would have gone around like 396 miles, but with the corner, it's
Mhm.
like 400 to 415 kilometers when you convert. So
Right.
you
Okay,
get,
okay, yeah. So
a
and
nice drive.
yeah, so going around twice because Tobago is 116 square miles, which is about
Yeah,
300
right.
kilometers. So you're
Yeah,
getting comfortably
yeah,
around there. And in terms of charging cost versus fuel, when
yes.
you look at your electricity bill, it's approximately $2.07 on the lower end and $4.50 on the higher
Yeah,
end for your
yeah.
full
Thank
nine
you for that.
hours. Yeah, that's at 23 cents per hour and
Yep,
then 50
yep.
cents, 50
Mhm.
cents per hour. Yeah,
So
so
those are your
definitely,
savings. It's a
definitely.
long-term investment, and I'd say, consider it if we're thinking about saving the country for our young ones. Leave something behind. We don't um have those gas engines, so you have to
Denise,
save.
I'm going to invite you to leave your number. And for everybody
Yeah,
listening to this podcast,
yeah.
Denise sold me my first ever vehicle donkey years ago.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yes, yes. It was such a pleasure. You were the first.
yeah, and that was
Yeah,
your
thank
first
you.
sale at this company that you're
You
with here.
were, you were, and you're still a great
Yeah, I didn't
customer.
even remember that until
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
told me
I
that
wanted to send you the photo.
yeah, yeah.
I
Somebody, I
have it
can't
in
even remember
my
to.
file. I have it in my phone as
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
reminder.
You better tell them send me a car. A car is what I need. I will be happy for a low end hybrid.
You'll be our brand ambassador. You're our brand ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Tell them that for me. Very much. I thank you very much for the opportunity. And each customer is a brand ambassador. So you will be the brand ambassador for the Kona Electric. It will be saving us in terms of the fuel, the economy. And I always take pleasure in having somebody on board. When they purchase a vehicle from us, it's our pleasure. And we always believe in good customer service in the economy. And Hyundai, just one last thing, Hyundai, the very sign of Hyundai is shaking hands. We can't shake hands now, but we could bounce elbows. But Hyundai is very conscious about the world. So that circle sign is the world, and people shaking hands, and the material they use, they are very conscious about the world and how we treat it. So I thank you very much. My contact number is 685-5382. Always feel free if you need any information on vehicles and so forth. Just give me a call. I so appreciate you having me here, Glendora.
All right, Denise. Thank you very much. We had this conversation. So you who are listening to this podcast episode, after you got through the episode and you heard everything that Denise have to say, you'll handle your business.
Handle Your Business, a weekly podcast discussing a little of this and a little of that. Handle Your Business appropriately blends serious topics with fun topics, all in an effort to help you have a good or better life. So join me, your host, Lady Lashley, and some amazing guests every Sunday at 5 p.m. to explore everything from financial management to dealing with relationship challenges. Put it in your calendar every Sunday from 5 p.m. Tune in to Handle Your Business to get you ready for the week ahead. For more details, follow at Lady Lashley TT on Instagram and Facebook. Handle Your Business.